Hello, everyone, and welcome to our hybrid program webinar. It is a pleasure to have you all here. Today, I am here with Lily and Taufik, my colleagues from Spanish Gap Year, and we have Maya, one of our alumni, who will be our guest speaker later on. So we're going to give you a brief introduction to the program, go through a couple of details, show you a few examples of internships and special interest classes, and then we'll open up the floor to your questions. So I wanted to briefly introduce myself. My name is Arantxa Lopez. You can't see that in my tag, but here I am, Arantxa Lopez. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm the program director. I'm one of the founders of Spanish Gap Year. We were established in 2014. So we've been at this a while, and we still are very passionate about what we do. Lily, you're next.
Hi, I'm Lily. I'm the marketing associate and the program leader here at Spanish Gap Year. So I'm the one who'll be on the ground with you throughout each and every city, and will be helping you with everything from help with your Spanish classes and help with your entrepreneurship or different pathways to helping you go to the pharmacy if you need it. And then next up is Taufik.
Hello, everyone. I'm Taufik. I'm a learning facilitator at SGY, and I will also be welcoming you to Spain. And I'll be one of the people that help you integrate, help you learn in Spain through entrepreneurship program or other activities that we do. So yeah, excited for the webinar and all your questions.
All right, so we're just going to go over really quick, like who are we, what we do as a business, some stuff about our pathways and what the schedule actually looks like when you're here in Spain. And then we're going to go over some different internship experiences that some of our past GAPOs have been able to experience in Barcelona. And then we'll have time for questions and answers. So starting off with who we are, so we're an accredited gap year provider. Accredited pretty much means that we make sure that we are really safe and that we are that we have the accreditation in order to get college credits for you guys while you're abroad. So we do internships in Barcelona, we do entrepreneurship courses, we do cultural immersion. Here you'll be able to stay in everything from a student residence to a homestay. So yeah, and then language learning all along the way. So here you'll be able to earn college credit, build your resume, and have support all along. So talking about what is included. So before you arrive in Spain, we make sure that you're prepared for your time by doing some meetings, both individually and in the group, so that you can meet your fellow GAPOs. Most of our GAPO groups are around like 10 people, so it's a small enough group that we're very close-knit and that you can make some really awesome friends. We also do some resume and cover letter workshops before you apply for your internships, just to make sure that you're prepared. We also do the interview training. So a lot of you guys haven't done an interview in the industry of your choosing before, so it can be a little bit scary, and we just want to make sure that you feel as confident as possible before your first interview. We also equip you with Spanish cultural communications courses. These will answer all of your questions from what time am I going to be eating dinner in this country to how do I ask for the police in this country, so that you make sure that you know and that you feel safe and you feel prepared before you land in Spain. Also some language learning courses so that you can get ready for a little bit of Spanish and touch up on your Spanish. In March, so this program is split up into 3 months. So in March, we do the first beginning. This is lots and lots of travel and fun. And then in April and May, we settle down and you get to explore Barcelona while building your resume and meeting lots of people. In March, we pick you up from the airport on the very first day, bring you to a hostel to stay the night, and then we will be moving or a hotel to stay the night, and then we'll be moving around and traveling to different cities like San Sebastian, Salamanca, Madrid, and Granada. Throughout these 4 cities, you're going to be staying in homestays. So this is just living with a family. These families are well vetted and very safe, and you'll be enjoying 3 meals a day and just enjoying your time in Spain. This is also a great time to practice your Spanish and just make some awesome friends with your host families. You'll have some cultural activities. This could mean everything from a bike tour to a visit to a farm. We do tours all around the cities to make sure that you see all of the historical places. And we also do day excursions to different places. For example, we go to France during our time in San Sebastian, and during our time in Salamanca, we go to Portugal. So you get to cross off 3 countries off your list, maybe more if you want to do weekend trips while you're in Barcelona, but definitely 3, which is definitely a win. And then you'll do some group Spanish classes tailored to your level. So in each city, you'll be going to Spanish classes. We oftentimes have students do so well in these Spanish classes that they actually go up multiple levels throughout just that first month. And in each city, you'll get a certificate of your level. So you'll be able to use that on your resumes and for future jobs to just be able to say, hey, I have this really high level of Spanish or this really good level of Spanish. And then throughout the way, you'll also have your entrepreneurship courses or special interest things. But we'll get more into the pathways in a little bit. So going through March, this is kind of what a schedule might look like for March. You spend both breakfast, lunch, and dinner with your host families, Spanish classes in the mornings. Lunch, you have time to go back to grab lunch with your host families, or you can always ask them for a packed lunch if you want to go explore the city. And then we have different activities each week. This isn't the same each week, but this is just kind of a sample. We have bike tours, we have cooking classes, we have trips to do some sustainability projects of ours. Sometimes we'll have a language exchange, which is a really awesome way to meet people from all over the world. And then oftentimes we'll have day trips too. So whichever day we're not traveling to a new city means that we're usually exploring the city that we're in or going to a day trip to a nearby town. So yeah, that's kind of a sample schedule for what it might look like in March. And yeah, here's just some of the things that we get to do along the way. This is us when we were in Madrid just playing cards. This is us in Barcelona exploring the city. This is us doing hikes up humongous mountains, grabbing coffee in San Sebastian, doing surf in France, going to a Catalan cooking class. So yeah, we keep you busy with lots of different opportunities to just enjoy your time here and have a lot of fun. Moving on to
May I
April.
jump in, Lily, just to highlight something that I think Maya will agree later. When we go to the different cities and you guys do the Spanish lessons, you'll be sharing the classes with other international students as well as your peer group, because in your peer group, everyone is a different level of Spanish and you're placed in your particular level. So you may be sharing the class with people from Germany, Japan, Brazil. Maya, you can tell us later what countries you met people from. And also one thing that Lily will be telling you about later, if you're wondering, because you saw it in the sample schedule for March, is the group sessions and the one-to-one sessions, because at the start, we like to give you a lot of one-to-one support.
Awesome. So yes, and then for April and May, you'll be in a studio in Barcelona with 2 meals daily. We'll spend 2 months here. We'll be doing cultural activities, tours. We'll do weekend optional excursions too, so you can spend your weekends exploring whatever cities you want to, or you can come with us and we can do an excursion all together with the group. Throughout that time, you'll also be enjoying your entrepreneurship courses if you're on the entrepreneurship pathway, or special interest if you're on that pathway. You'll also be in your internship placement, either full or part-time, and gaining your college credits throughout that. And you'll also be continuing with your Spanish classes, continuing to meet people from all over the world and just be in a group. And then at the very end, then we have the airport drop-off. So moving on to the pathways.
Thank you, Lily. So as Lily mentioned, we have 3 pathways. So we have a full internship pathway where you can do a full-time internship and get really into the job that you do. You then do a couple of Spanish lessons per week. You have a couple of cultural activities to opt in and out of, depending on how busy you are. And as you see there, it is the best hands-on experience because you get to do 320 hours of contact in your internship of interest. You can choose your industry. Pathway 2 is entrepreneurship. Taufik will get more into it in a second, but it's a part-time internship. And then in the afternoons, you'd be doing an entrepreneurship competition, which Maya will talk to you about later also. And you also have Spanish classes and cultural activities. So everyone has that in common. And the special interest pathway is a part-time internship in the morning. And then in the afternoons, you choose whether you want to volunteer with an NGO, whether you want to do some creative classes like photography, painting, perhaps you're into theater or music, or if you're into sports, you can also train and scout for different sports. And again, you have Spanish lessons and cultural activities like everybody else. So that's where everybody from the group meets, right? You'll all be living together, but you're also still sharing the Spanish classes and cultural activities and tours. So Lily's going to show you some examples later about the internships that our fall group did. But if we go to the full internship schedule, you'll see approximately, and this is quite flexible because it varies depending on what company you're working with. In Spain, it typically, some say smaller to medium companies have kept our traditional Spanish timetables and schedules. So you'd be working in the morning and then taking a longer lunch and then going back in the later afternoon to the evening. So this is one way that you can intern, but other companies, like you see on screen, have the more Anglo-Saxon schedule where you only take an hour for lunch. That's a short lunch for us Spaniards. So you'll be working, say, from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. and then again from 2 until 5 p.m. So you still have a long evening. But again, some of our gappers do, for example, they work 10 to 2 and then take a long lunch until 5, lunch and siesta, we're famous for that, and then go back to work from 5 to 8. So it really depends on where you're working. I'm gonna let you take it away, Tawfiq, for pathway 2.
So for the pathway number 2, which is a mix of entrepreneurship competition and a part-time internship. With this pathway, there's a focus on flexibility. So you get to do an internship in Barcelona and also attend an entrepreneurship like course led by an amazing mentor from Barcelona and myself, who I'll be you know helping you in the practice sessions and going together along the competition. So in this pathway, there's a clear structure, of course, with some flexibility to it, but you will be doing part-time internship in the morning, and then you will have 3 sessions or 2 sessions. I think, yeah, 3 sessions per week in the entrepreneurship course. So there is an element of flexibility, and there's also you know, two things happen at the same time. An internship that you do in the morning, and in the afternoon, in the evening, you do the entrepreneurship course. And you also get access to a network, an ecosystem network, like a startup ecosystem network. You attend events through the course. For example, we have in Barcelona like eWorks, a network of events that you can attend to pitch, to connect, to network. So with this pathway, you get a lot of benefits, with some flexibility, but you get a lot of benefits in terms of the networking, in terms of you know, the learning that you get from it.
The future opportunities. Maya will be talking more about that later. As you see in this schedule, as Tawfiq was saying, there are in April and May, we do 3 sessions per week. In March, we will actually be doing online sessions because you will be traveling. But once you get to Barcelona, this is all in person. So in March, you'll get slightly shorter online sessions, and you're going to be doing 2 per week. And in April and May, when you get to Barcelona, it's all in person, and you're going to be doing 3 per week. And we'll go to see pathway 3 schedule, special interest. So as I was saying, everyone does a part-time internship in the morning, and then you can choose, is it volunteering, is it creative class, is it sports? And if we could see the schedule, it's very similar to the previous 2. So again, you'll be doing an internship approximately from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It could be 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then your special interest, we've set the times for some of the classes our folks have been doing in the fall, 6 to 8 p.m. but this is approximate. Some people taking photography lessons, we're doing 3 days a week of 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. So it varies depending on what you're doing, because if your volunteer organization works, for example, they could be doing Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. It can vary, okay? So this is just a sample, but everyone would be doing several days a week of their special interest for several hours in that afternoon to the evening. Thank you, Lily.
So yeah, just to tie up, these are the 3 pathways. So yeah, if you have any questions as to whether you're interested in the entrepreneurship, internship, or special interest, or any questions about more examples for special interest, feel free to reach out to us. So in terms of the weekly group sessions, so we do these group sessions every week, and they're mostly just to kind of check in, see how everybody is doing, see how we can better support you, but they're also to do a lot of work on soft skills. So while you're traveling, you're going to be learning a lot about yourself, and we want to make sure that you're actually taking the time to reflect on those learning, on things that you learn about yourself, and really just savor your time here and savor all the things that you're learning. So we talk about some different soft skills. In March, you're going to be moving all around the country, seeing lots of new places, meeting a lot of new people. So we really focus on asking for help in this moment. No matter what culture you come from, sometimes it can be really difficult to just say, hey, I need help with this. And we try to make sure that you feel that you can come to us with those things, and also to your host family and to your Spanish teachers. So we focus on that, time management, and just general communication during that first month. In April, while we settle in Barcelona, we focus on personal accountability, showing initiative both inside and outside of your professional life, and just maintaining generally healthy habits. This might be your first time living in a studio by yourself, and although we're all going to be together in the same residence, and your program leader will also be living in the same residence with you, so we'll all be close by, it can still be a little bit daunting having so much independence. So we just want to make sure that you're maintaining those healthy habits. In May, we'll focus on being proactive, fostering relationships and networking, and thinking ahead to your future and thinking about how the lessons that you've learned during your gap year can translate to your future. So more about internships. So your internships can range widely. So whatever your interests are, please let us know and we can find a company for you. I know that Barcelona is a humongous city and there are so many opportunities out there. For example, Lauren was one of our students in this fall cohort, and she had an internship in journalism and sustainability. She had a special interest pathway with photography classes in the evening and then interned in the mornings. So she did research for sustainability projects with a company. She created articles and blog posts, presentations. She did translation work. And what's really cool is that she was able to walk away from her internship with published articles that she had written with websites and articles with her name on it. So she was able to post those to her LinkedIn, send those to her family in both English and Spanish. So that was a huge accomplishment. And they were also published in very well-known journals across Barcelona. So very cool thing to put on your resume. Moving on, we have another example. This was another person from our fall cohort. This is Sophie. Sophie did a biological engineering internship. So she wanted to learn more about biological engineering, and we put her with a company called IBEC, which is the Institute of Barcelona Engineering of Catalonia. So the fact she was able to fabricate organ-on-a-chip layers, which is crazy, amazing science things that I couldn't even begin to explain to you all, but trust me, it is very cool. She worked with different types of resins that, again, I will never understand, used 3D printing, used something called plasma testing or plasmatization. It was incredible. And she was able to work so much on that study that she actually was invited to return to continue her internship and the chance to get her name on that experiment or on that research study. So yeah, you get a lot of opportunities throughout this. She also participated in a hackathon where she competed against 65 other candidates. These were people from college students to actual research assistants, and her partner won. Her and her partner were the 2 people out of 65 people to receive funding for their research project, and were invited to come back this spring to continue that research project. So if you're looking to study, to learn more about Spain and to travel, this is a great program. If you're looking to find opportunities that you can continue for the rest of your life, this is also your program. More on that, Milo, he was a theater intern. He was very interested in theater. We placed him with a really amazing company in Barcelona where he was able to help out with the theater productions, rehearsals. He even was able to direct a rehearsal, which was incredible and also a pretty nice thing to put on your resume. He adapted to the unpredictable show environments. He even has filled in for actors during rehearsals when they haven't showed up. So he got a very well-rounded experience at this. And because of his abilities to film and to direct and do all of these things, and even his writing abilities, he was invited to continue his internship this spring in Barcelona. So if you're interested in the Spring 2026 program, you might just be running into some of our Spanish Gap Year alumni. For example, you might run into Maya.
And Maya, she was, she was one of the winners of the competition, of the entrepreneurship competition. She did her internship at Move Team, that used to design scavenger hunts and gamification, if I'm correct. So Maya did an amazing job with her team NextGen that is going to carry on. The business is going to carry on and is going to develop. And she's now still working with them. So if I can introduce you to Maya, and she can tell us about about her experience with, especially with the entrepreneurship pathway, and what's next in her future. So, welcome to Maya. Can take the floor.
Hello, I'm Maya. I, was on this call like, I don't know, like last last fall. So, now I'm back as a graduated of Spanish gap year. Yeah, I really like fell in love with like entrepreneurship, and I had no idea that I would like be skilled in like this type of field, but because of Spanish gap year and signing up for this program, I genuinely like got so many opportunities, and just like really dove into it, which made my experience. And from like even before I came to Barcelona, I learned so much about myself, like staying with host families. And yeah, I guess this is just a very like huge learning experience, and it's very it made me feel like super like matured, and I'm going back. So that's the best. And my like I guess future moving forward is to go back to Barcelona, take some Spanish classes, and work on NextGen as a company and really develop it and go full in, because I mean, building it was just amazing. And so yeah, there's lots of potential. Yeah. Thanks, Sophie.
Maya, that's your winter and spring, but what happens in September for you?
Oh, yes. And then I'm going to university in Barcelona. Again, I literally had no idea I would fall in love with Barcelona, but it was like it was my second month. And no, it's actually my third month. Last month I decided like for sure. And I started applying to colleges, universities. I was like supposed to go to Loyola Marymount University in California. And I worked really hard, and I showed up to a lot of like networking events through Asade, and I got in yesterday. So that's the plan. And yeah.
Thank you, Maya, so much, and congratulations. This is huge. Congrats.
Thanks.
So I think, Lily, can we open the floor to questions?
Yeah, of course. So while we move forward, if you ever have any questions right now that you have totally forgotten about, you can feel free to look at SpanishGapYear.com and book a call with us individually. You can also contact us through social media at the tag there, and also email. So yeah, but going on to more questions. So if we could, yeah, if anybody has any questions that they want to shout out about their Spanish Capri.
I think I just have one. Would you say that with all the activities that are set up by the program, do you have enough time to truly get around the city and see the culture for yourself, or did it feel as if you were more just with your group in a different city?
Yeah, so we have, oh, Maya, did you want to talk?
I'll like put my input like personally. I think like the first I think you definitely do have time. You do have time. You just have to like carve it up for yourself. And then especially in Barcelona, you like have a lot of time there. So then you just start like kind of like going on your own adventures. But for me, I took the entrepreneur route and I know I had time. I think for different people, like especially if you're doing like full internship, it could be like tricky. But for me, I had a lot of like time as long as you like actually just like make it for yourself and like you like take opportunities and like you like just plan out stuff individually, then like yeah, you can definitely make that happen.
Yeah, thank you so much. So a lot of students have come to me just being like, hey, I actually am having a lot more free time now than I ever did in high school. So we really tried to make sure that you have time to enjoy your own interests. We have had some gappers who are really into drawing and they try to find about like an hour or two every single day to go to a different park around the city and just draw. We have some gappers who are really into gyms, and before you arrive to any sort of city, we make sure that you have a full document filled with free time activities of different things that you might want to see. So there's definitely time to go and explore and see your own things. And if there's any time that you see a bike tour on the thing and you're just like, hey, I'm feeling really sick, or I don't really want to go to this, I need to take a beat, we're very flexible to whatever you need.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have one in the chat about group size and socializing. So I'm going to take that one and then ask Maya to also chip in and give us your opinion on it. Because as Lily mentioned in the beginning, we keep our groups small and we take a maximum of 12 per group. And some people contact us concerned about whether that's too small, or do we only socialize among ourselves. So as I mentioned at the beginning, you have a lot more socializing opportunities than just our group, though the group is great, if I may say so. But during Spanish classes, as I said, you share the classes with other students from around the world, different ages, different countries, and you make friends with some of them. You also have time to explore solo if you need to recharge, because some people find it exhausting to be around others all the time. And then through work, in your internship, through the entrepreneurship, in the competition, you'll also share the competition with more people. So Maya, can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, so I like genuinely like I like am usually around like a lot of people, so this is different for me. But I will say like the Spanish classes, the first month, like you're gonna be constantly going to them. And I like found friends genuinely in every city. I like it like different ages, like different like people from different backgrounds, but I like found friends and I like genuinely like hung out with them. Like I'm still in touch with them. So like it was really cool. That's like for the first month, like when you're in Spanish classes especially. But then for the second month, like if you do the entrepreneur route, like I highly suggest that one. Like you're gonna meet students from like a different university called EU, and like honestly 2 different universities I met students. And then from there, like you start like being friends with them from like your group or like from other groups. And like if you just take full advantage of like being like super like friendly, and everyone's so like friendly and curious there in Barcelona, like all the students, I will say that like I felt so like extremely welcomed, like a different culture than like the United States. So yeah, I ended up making a bunch of friends and like going out with them and like having a whole like different circle in Barcelona. So yeah.
I just want to add.
We actually had, oh, sorry,
uh,
Taufik. No, go
I
ahead.
just want
I'll jump in
to
later.
add something to the benefit that comes with the entrepreneurship pathway. besides like the network that you get access to, especially with events that you meet like investors, young entrepreneurs, and acceleration opportunities or things like that. Also, you might also join the Spanish Gap Year activities in Barcelona. Maybe like if there is an outing or there is a social activity, you're always included to that activities with with their limited spots, but you're always asked to come to that. So the entrepreneurship course really gives you a lot more benefits um, than what it actually is. Like it's not just a course that you go and disconnect and you just go and listen. No, that you practice, you put that knowledge into actual outcomes. Like you actually learn, and then you connect and you build the networks. In our course, there were more than 8 nationalities, especially with the collaboration that we had with EU Business School in Barcelona. So there's a lot more to just a basic course. It's a lot more than that.
And in the spring, we have ESADE. We have a couple of students from ESADE joining the competition. Maya is surprised. And also from the University of Barcelona. So it'll be even a more eclectic mix. And it's set up as a Shark Tank style competition. So you guys will get to pitch in the final in front of investors. And Vanika has her hand raised, I think.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a few things to what Maya said as well from like my own experience. I think doing the entrepreneurial, because I didn't do the Spanish gap year, but I did the entrepreneurial program, and it was a great experience because even though like some of the networking events were like overwhelming with some of the amount of people who came, but you after you go to those events, you'd come out like knowing a lot more and learning so much more, like from just talking to investors, talking to co-founders, going to most of the eWork events, because Maya and I have gone to like all the eWork events together. So we've done like that experience together. I think that definitely really helped us be successful and win the competition.
Okay, and there's another one about college credit. I'm gonna start by reassuring you that you don't have to go for college credit. In fact, a lot of people who will be taking a gap year between high school and college, if you're already enrolled in a particular university, you won't be allowed as a freshman to carry college credit. So you do not have to do college credit during the program, but you can opt in for college credit. Okay. There's a couple of courses. We can send you further information on them, but you can gain college credit from your internship, from culture and cohort, and also from volunteering, which is new from the GYA, our accrediting body. Oh, sorry, Maya, could you give us a little bit on that actually, since you actually went for college credit?
Yeah, the college credit was awesome, like to fill out. Honestly, it was very reflective. I don't think I can go to Asade, but that's totally okay because like the whole like process is like just like journaling. It's like for like your host families and your internship reports. Like it's very reflective. Like it's very meditative. So I honestly just enjoyed the process. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, is there anything else here? Um, um, no, someone had a comment on homestay, but there's no question. Um, Lily mentioned that we vet our host families really well. We do background checks and home visits, and then we try to match every student with as perfect a match as we can. We can't always do a la carte. So if you say, "Well, I want to live with a person my age," or your host sibling may not be the same age as yourself. We've had gappers in the past who share their homestay with a host brother or sister who is a similar age, and they enjoy that because it's extra socializing and they get to meet their host siblings friends, which is always great, and then they bring the whole group along. So there's that. But at times homestay, a perfect setting for someone, for different gappers, could look like an older lady who's single, who's super into bringing you everywhere, cultural activities, other families who may have younger kids and are super active and into sports, so they're going to take you to different sport games. So every host family is different, but I would say all of our host families are super welcoming. And Maya, please also chip in.
Yeah, I've had quite my experiences with different, like, all, like, I take away something different, like good, and like it was definitely different. Like, for example, in Salamanca, I was with like some German kids, and like that would, like, similar to my age, like maybe a little bit younger, like 16. And like I just like would stay up like at night just like learning like different German like sayings and like talk to them about like their opinions on like the United States. Like, you just get to meet so many different like people. Or like my other like host mom in like Madrid, she was awesome. She like was a total chef. Like, she just chefed up all the time. So that was so delicious. And it was just me and her. And it was a more like chill feel than like Salamanca. But yeah, like you just like you get to have like different experiences, and it's like you always are practicing your Spanish. So it's great. I learned a lot and enjoyed in my host families.
And since Maya spoke about food, I'll go ahead and say we are foodies, and therefore you'll be doing cooking classes in every region. I think Maya took all of the cooking lessons that we did, and in every region that we go to, you learn about the local cuisine, because Spain is so rich in cuisine. But of course, I'm Basque, I'm from the north, and Maya was in San Sebastian, and that was the best, I think, because that's the actual food region of Spain. But in Catalonia, awesome menu. Salamanca, same. Granada, Madrid, you learn about the local dishes, but also gain some real cooking skills that you can bring into college or work or whatever you're doing after your gap year. Okay, before we wrap it up, any other questions, you guys? I don't have anything in writing here, but please feel free to unmute yourselves, ask any last minute burning questions. Or Maya, if there's anything else you'd like to say in terms of skills learned, anything that stood out to you, or Lily, Taufik, before we wrap it up.
Yeah, I would just say that if any of you guys do have any questions in the future, we're always here for you. And I think that one of the things that makes Spanish Gap Year really stand out is that we are here for you, no matter where you are, what you're doing, what city you're in, we're here for you. So truly, if you need anybody to come hold your hand while you go to the pharmacy, if you need somebody to come help you ask for earbuds at a grocery store, whatever you need, we're here for you. So if you're looking for the kind of experience where you'll be able to have fun and have your free time while also having a lot of support along the way, then yeah, you should definitely reach out to us.
Thank you. And this one is for the parents, because I know that they will ask me later. We always have a 24/7 emergency line, and people can call whoever is on call that day or night, whatever is happening. Okay, you guys. Well, if there's nothing else, thank you all so much for coming. I will be sending the recording around for those who couldn't attend. But again, thank you so much. Lovely to see you all, and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay.